Hey y'all! Pokemon Crystal using only one Ladybug was one of the worst experiences of my entire life! So this week, let's see if we can have a little bit easier time by trying to beat Pokemon Red using only one Oddish. As usual, the rules are I can only use Oddish in battle, and I can't use any items in battle. By the way, if you like this kind of content and want to see more, be sure to subscribe and check out more of the videos on my channel. Oddish is known for being the butt of some, let's face it, pretty lame jokes about recreational substances. It's got some pretty decent stats. Once special got split into special attack and defense, Oddish has a base stat total of 320. Which is 100 points away from being perfect! Listen, I said the jokes were lame, not that I was above making them. Alright, let's do this, y'all. Off at Professor Oak's lab, I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Bulbasaur with Oddish so that a rival will pick Charmander. Eventually, Bubs will have a Charizard that knows Fire Blast, and you obviously don't want to just go around lighting Oddish on fire, no matter how cool some people might make it look. Obviously, for the nickname, there are some easy jokes to make here, but if I do, YouTube will suppress this video because, oh, think of the children! So I settle instead for OK Bloomer. Oddish starts off with just Absorb and, well, that's all. Just Absorb. Huh, good thing the entirety of the beginning of this game isn't absolutely riddled with bug and poison type Pokemon to absolutely stonewall our progress. That'd be awful. Also, the first rival fight with Bubs was a dragged out affair because, you know, Charmander, Fire, Oddish, Grass. Yeah, Viridian Forest is not a fun time at all. By the time we actually get to Brock, I already know we're gonna win easily. Of course we are. We've got a grass move, and Brock's rocks are double weak to the Sticky Icky. It's a shame it was such a pain in the grass to get here though. Seriously, the level 9 Weedle from the mandatory bug catcher was such a problem. Give little Jimmy his own gym, cause that was almost as bad as Brock usually is. At least, the real struggle is over for now. After traversing Mount Moon, we take on Misty in the Cerulean City Gym, and with Absorb, this one is, well, you know, pretty simple. What wasn't simple was getting through Mount Moon. Talk about a real gauntlet. Try fighting Zubat with Bide, when Leech Life is double super effective and heals them back. Truly an awful experience. And don't even get me started on the dang Grimer. It took way too long to knock it out with Bide, since it mostly spams Disable and hardly ever deals damage to Oddish. Speaking of grimy tactics, next up is the rival Bubs once again, and this time he's got the god-dang Pidgeotto. Genuinely our best bet here is to knock it out using Bide, but half the time it goes for Sand Attack, lowering our accuracy by making our eyes redder than if we were, what? Oh, that's right, we're not going there, We lose most of our health to the Pidgeotto, the main drawback to using Bide, but thankfully Aber can attack, so it's essentially free healing with Absorb. After that, Sleep Powder really helps us maintain our HP while whittling down Bubs' Pokemon. I originally tried to beat Charmander with Bide, but remember that whole thing earlier about blazing grass? Yeah, it's pretty hard to talk about the weed Pokemon without talking about, well, you know, that thing I just said. And that's not a joke. In the Pokedex, it's actually called the Weed Pokemon. Ay. Well, after beating the rival Bubs, it's time to head to the SS Anne to take on the rival Bubs, yeah. If nothing had changed, this battle would have been ridiculously frustrating, but thankfully, Oddish learned Acid at level 24. It's a weak poison type move, so it uses Oddish's lower attack stat, but it does have a chance to lower the opponent's defense. Sounds wishy-washy, I know, but it's one of the only moves that we'll get that deals at least neutral damage to things that resist grass. Yeah, our options here are pretty limited. Our move pool is more of a move puddle. And even though we can now hit Charmeleon for neutral damage, and we have Sleep Powder, we still almost lose this one, so I guess things just went from bad to meh? Next up is Lieutenant Surge, and because we're a grass type, we resist electric, meaning as long as we avoid sonic booms from Voltorb, we gon' be alright. Those deal 20 damage apiece, and we don't have much HP to speak of. Acid is great though, since it's physical and often lowers defense, meaning we prey upon Surge's Pokemon's bad physical defense while also mitigating the effects of Growl from the Pikachu. Even Raichu's Thunderbolt doesn't do much damage because we resist, and honestly, you can't really grass for much more than that. Okay, so up next is the rival battle with Bubs in Lavender Town, and this battle is always tough whenever he has a Gyarados. It knows Hydro Pump and Dragon Rage, both of which are ridiculously overpowered for this point in the game. During the battle, Oddish learns Petal Dance, which I go ahead and use just this once, and immediately, I hate it. It locks you in for 2 to 3 turns and then confuses you, which would be fine if it were strong like Thrash, but no, it's only 70 base power. So as soon as I get the chance, It's gone from the moveset. You might be thinking, oh, it's not that bad, but Oddish being confused is actually very problematic, especially later in the run when we'll be not only badge boosting, but raising our attack to pretty blistering heights. After grass thrashing our way to victory against Bubs, it's time to cash in our free badge voucher at the Celadon City Gym. We are grass poisoned, so Erica really can't do anything to us. It's basically just a matter of when, not if, we win. The great thing about this battle is that we get the TM for Mega Drain for winning. This is a direct upgrade from Absorb. It's the exact same move, just twice as strong. Still, it's only 40 base power, but with limited options, we'll take what we can get. Now that we have Mega Drain, we head to the Rocket Game Quarter hideout in Celadon City and take on Giovanni. Technically, we could lose this battle in the unlikely event that Onyx chains together enough binds to never let us attack, but Giovanni also randomly spams guard specs, giving me the chance to attack and losing the battle. What a guy! After Giovanni, I take on Koga in the Fuchsia City Gym. Well, technically, I could also take on the rival Bubs in the Sylph Company building, but he has an Alakazam, and yeah, there's not a shot in the dark we're going to win that battle. I did grab the TM for Swords Dance from the Sylph Company building and taught it to Oddish, finally getting rid of Petal Dance. Swords Dance is a great move. It raises our attack stat by 2 stages, meaning we can maximize our attack with 3 Swords Dances. Plus, modifying our stats means that we also gain additional badge boosts. And for those that aren't familiar, every time your stats are modified in battle in this game, the stat boosts you get from your badges are reapplied. Even with maximized attack, we're fighting poison with poison, and resisted moves don't do that much to his decently bulky Pokemon. But eventually we win, and with Koga's badge, we're now able to badge boost our speed, which is necessary to help patch up Oddish's pretty bad speed stat. Well, now there's nothing left to do but take on the rival Bubs in the Sylph Company building, and I've been avoiding this for a while, because his Alakazam can 1-hit KO us with Psychic, and even Psybeam takes most of our health. And even at our higher level, badge boosts to speed aren't enough to outspeed the Alakazam or the Charizard. That's why you'll see me stalling here against the first handful of Pokemon. Rather than knocking them out quickly with our highly boosted Acid, I'm opting to take the slower route to allow Mega Drain to keep as much health as possible. Otherwise, a Psybeam from Alakazam could knock us out right away. Unfortunately, we level up after the Alakazam, which means our badge boosts are reset, allowing the Charizard to outspeed us and go for Ember, but we're able to hang on and finally win this wretched battle. Moving on. With Bubs out of the way, it's time to take on Giovanni once again, but yeah, he's not a problem at all. His Pokemon really can't do much to Oddish, so it's no trouble at all to set up our Swords Dances and then chunk his Pokemon until they go bye-bye. So instead of talking about this battle, I'll instead take this opportunity to just say that so far Oddish has been, well, pretty fun. It was kind of miserable at the beginning, but since then things have really picked up for us. But just wait until we get to the Elite Four. Yeah, foreshadowing. So now we're at the point where we have to choose between the Fire and the Psychic Gym, and I choose the way of Fire. Blaine's up next, and because of his good AI, his lead Growlithe will often spam the Psychic move Agility, even though it doesn't actually do damage, so we're free to set up Swords Dances here, but yeah, we can't badge boost our speed enough to outspeed Ponyta Rapidash, who often lock us in with Fire Spin, trapping us and ruining our chances of winning. And even when we get past them, Arcanine Fire Blast, which 1-hit KOs Oddish. This one was pretty tough, and it took a while to win, but you know, pretty simple. And now that we have the Volcano badge to boost our special stat, beating Sabrina is, possible. I said possible, not easy. Kadabra always takes out most of our health, plus no matter what, her Alakazam is going to outspeed Oddish, because of its, high base speed. And oh yeah, we'll often crit because, high base speed. At which point, a single Psychic will swiftly slay our succulent soldier. Before we can get to Alakazam though, we have to beat the Venomoth, which gives us a lot of trouble, and is of course, a Psychic Warrior type. So I say all of this to say, it really comes down to Alakazam picking crappy moves at random. Yeah, so that's what I did. I just tried a bunch until Alakazam picked bad moves. And I know it's not elegant, but after the ordeal I had last week with Ledyba, I'll take whatever I can get. On the flip side of that coin, the final gym battle with Giovanni in the Viridian City Gym is kind of free. I guess technically Dugtrio could critical hit a Dig, but that doesn't happen here. There are plenty of chances to badge boost our stats, and even after we level up during the battle, Mega Drain keeps our health in tip-top shape. It also helps that Giovanni spams Poison Sting for the same reason Blaine was spamming Agility. So nice of Nidoking to not go for Thrash, which is way better than Poison Sting and might actually do something to Oddish. I'm knocking on Poison Sting, but then again, I am planning on doing a run with just Weedle, and it only knows Poison Sting, so yeah, that's not going to be fun. At all. Well, with 8 gym badges in hand, the only thing standing between us and the Elite Four is another rival battle with Bubs. This one is really tough. Seriously, any battle involving a psychic or fire type is tough, and this one has both! I go straight for the knockout on his first 2 Pokemon so that we will level up, and now that we're all leveled up, we're free to set up all of our badge boosts against the Execute, which will never actually damage us, you know, good AI. I even tried not going for Sleep Powder against Gyarados so as to fish for a Leer for badge boost. And even with a few extra, we still can't outspeed the Alakazam or Charizard, and we take huge damage most of the time, so I do have to reset this battle a lot before we actually win. I could teach Mimic to copy Pidgeot's agility, which would let us outspeed, but Oddish really can't afford to not have Sleep Powder or Swords Dance, and I can't imagine trying to fight with only one attacking move. And you see that here when we reach the Elite Four. I've got the same moveset that we've had the entire time pretty much. There's really not much else we can work with here. Up first is Lorelei, and while Oddish is weak to ice, we are able to bolster our buds a little bit with the badge boost to special that we get from Swords Dance. Plus an attack drop from Dugong's Aurora Beam or Growl just boost our special even further. And most of our Pokemon are weak to Mega Drain, so plenty of chances to heal up as well. The real issues are the Jinx and the Lapras. Jinx outspeeds and can critical hit or freeze with Ice Punch, either of which end the battle. Jinx is easy enough to take out with Acid, but Lapras survives Mega Drain and can freeze with Blizzard. I typically win this battle, but it is possible to lose at just a moment's notice. Not the worst case scenario though for Lorelei, sometimes she can be a real brick wall. And after her is Bruno, and well, he's like a sponge wall? There's not much to say about him. He's bad, and we're a Chad. Swords Dance is enough to boost our Mega Drain to be a 2-hit KO on all of his Pokemon. But just to be a spiteful bastard, I opt to fight Bruno's fighting types with Acid. And yeah, fighting types resist poison, so really, I'm just being a jerkwad. Call me overconfident, but I say instead, I'm just enjoying the good times while they last, because I know what's right around the corner, and I'm sure karma won't come to bite me straight in the bud, especially not when we go to fight Agatha, and I'm definitely not foreshadowing. Definitely not foreshadowing. And speaking of Agatha, this is one of those battles where I regret everything. I had to retry this battle, I want to say like 30 times? You know, it's not the worst I've ever done, but considering how the rest of this run has gone, it just really sticks out like a sore green thumb. The problems, in order, are as follows. Agatha spams status moves. Golbat removes all of our boosts with Haze. Even when we do get our boost, we hardly do any damage because of type resistances, and, lastly, our boosted attack is so much higher than our defense that we take massive damage from Confusion. Yeah, remember earlier when I was talking about how I don't like Petal Dance because it confuses you? Well, this is the reason why. Damage dealt by Confusion is based off of the difference between your attack and defense stat, and since our defense stat isn't great already, and we're boosting our attack massively with Swords Dance, we deal almost half of our health and damage every time we hit ourselves in Confusion. So yeah, this winning attempt you're seeing was incredibly lucky. The fact that the worst thing to happen to Oddish in this battle was it smacking itself in the face for half of our health is a testament to how annoying this one really was. I could have used Mimic to copy Wing Attack from Golbat, but like I said before, Oddish has 4 move slot syndrome, something awful, and I just can't fight Bubs without this moveset. Not trying to cut off my nose to spite my face here, you know? Next up is the Elite Four member Lance, and I don't want to spoil anything, but most people are aware of how the Lance fight usually goes when you have a Poison-type Pokemon. His 2 Dragonair and 1 Dragonite will literally never damage us, so this battle just comes down to beating the Gyarados and the Aerodactyl. Gyarados repeatedly knocks us out with a combination of Leer and Hyper Beam, so it's crucial to land a Sleep Powder on this sneaky sea snake. If we're lucky, we'll take a Leer or 2 for extra badge boost, but no Hyper Beam, because that defense drop can be very dangerous, especially against the Aerodactyl. The first Dragonair comes out and we use Mega Drain to heal our health back to full before clobbering the second Dragonair with Acid, because if we have full health, no reason not to just knock it out. Still, Aerodactyl almost knocks us out with a Hyper Beam, but I'm able to squeak by and win, albeit after a couple of resets to various Hyper Beams and, of course, critical hits. We level up before the Dragonite, which resets our badge boost, but that doesn't matter since it can't actually damage us anyways. Finally, it's time to take on the champion, our rival Bubs. I go ahead and raise our level using all of our remaining rare candies. Yeah, this is not a battle where we can win while Bubs' levels are higher than ours, especially when we can't avoid leveling up during the battle because we're at a lower level. So raising our level actually helps us to maintain our badge boost because we won't level up during the battle. You've seen how much of a problem his Alakazam and Charizard were previously, and yeah, well, they're only stronger now. On top of that, Pidgeot has Sky Attack, which knocks us out even from full health, even with our badge boost. So this battle comes down to two things. Alakazam needs to use Reflect or Recover while we knock it out with Acid. After that, it really comes down to Charizard not using Fire Blast. This battle did not go well for me. After an hour of attempts, I only got to the Charizard 5 times. The first 4 times, Oddish got roasted by some combination of Fire Spin and or Fire Blast, and we got incinerated before getting to do anything. Which is a real shame because all of his other Pokemon besides Alakazam are completely a non-issue. On the last attempt though, the Karma Cops issue Bubs a citation and he is forced to miss a Fire Blast, giving us the opening we need to put Charizard to sleep and knock it out, winning the battle! And with that, the challenge is over. Overall, Oddish was really fun to use, besides a couple of snags here and there. At least it wasn't as bad as Ledyba. That video almost lasted 420 minutes. Get it? I had to get one last one in there. As always, I want to thank you for making it to the end of this video. These are a lot of fun to make, but also a lot of work, so I really do appreciate it. And there's a playlist on my channel where you can find the rest of my Pokemon challenge videos if you want to check those out as well. And if you like this kind of content and want to see more, be sure to subscribe and enable notifications so you'll know right away the next time one of these episodes is uploaded. And let me know in the comments what other Pokemon you want to see, and I'll probably do it. Next week, we're heading back to Johto to find out if I can beat Pokemon Crystal using only one Quillfish. Pufferfish? I hardly even know her. Anyways, until next time, bye!